Marta asks, how did you feel the time you got arrested, Damian? I was arrested in Orlando, Florida, because I was signing autographs outside of one of our shows. We were opening for somebody, so I can't remember who we were opening for. Probably they might be Giants, but I can't remember. And at the time, what we would do is go out after the show with notebooks and ask everybody to sign our email list because that way we could keep in touch with them. And generally, people would ask for our autographs at that time, so I would pass out the notebooks and then sign things for people. And this woman, no, was it a woman or a man? Now I can't remember. Oh, it was a woman in a golf shirt came up to me and said like, sorry, you're gonna have to move on. And this was like a fairly common thing that would happen after shows is somebody from the club would get upset that there was this hullabaloo and they want everyone to leave. And so I said what I always said, which is like, go, this is part of what we do every day, just talk to our tour manager and I'll get out of here. That was the whole thing. Then a cop came up to me and said, son, what part of move didn't you understand? And I didn't react well to that, and I sort of sarcastically said, I understood the whole thing, I just didn't do it. So they cuffed me and arrested me and took me to jail for the night. It turns out that the woman who had been talking to me in the first place was a security official of some kind. I guess it was a police officer, I'm not sure. She wasn't in uniform, or if she was, their uniform is a golf shirt. But the experience itself was actually kind of funny because I knew I wasn't in it, like I hadn't done anything really wrong, and so I was pretty certain that like that there wasn't going that this wasn't going to last forever. However, once I got into the jail, it was really depressing because the other people who were in there did not have the same sort of general assurances that I did that things would be okay. It was I was, as far as I could tell, I was the only person there who had a reasonable expectation that they would leave pretty soon. It was clear that I hadn't really done anything wrong. But there were a bunch of people there who were in the. Most people kind of knew that the minimum time they'd be in there was 6 months or something, and it was really sad and it was really depressing and it was hard. Not for me. I mean, it was hard. In terms of sympathy and empathy, it was interesting to see. I got a lot of stories from people, and like the guy who was sitting next to me when I first got there was explaining to me a very violent and ugly situation with his girlfriend and her lover and a bunch of drugs, and it was clear from from his story and several other people's stories that that the functioning of their community was so at like the all of the business that happened in their communities was technically illegal, and that there were no other options other than that. That's just how people survived, and so going to jail was something of a lottery. It was just like it's gonna happen at some point, and what a bummer that it happened last night was sort of their feeling, and that was very, very depressing to witness.